Hello everyone, Jeff Oliver here, coming from Australia's Gold Coast. Lovely day here today, beautiful blue sky, nice breeze, great to live on the Gold Coast. Alright guys, what I want to talk about today is the problem a lot of people are dealing with at the moment is how can we pay down a massive mortgage and also build some wealth. I want to talk about wealth is a little bit of passive income, money coming in that you don't work for. And we need to build that, and over time we get more and more passive income and take down the mortgage. All right, how can we do that? Well, first of all, good to have a plan. Just throwing money at the mortgage, every cent we got, in the hope that we'll somehow roll this over, that's a strategy, but most of you are going to run into the problem is the mortgage is that big that a lot of people now spend their entire working lives trying to pay off their mortgage. So, and they come to retirement. Hopefully the mortgage is gone. A lot of time it's not, and there goes your super. So you're sitting there with this asset. If you call an asset, to me an asset is something that put money in your pocket. A home you live in doesn't do that. It still costs you money. All right, so you're left with this asset and nothing else, really. All right. So okay, so we establish. I want to eventually have more than just a house. I want some income as well. How do we do that? All right. As I said, throwing money at the mortgage in the hope you'll pay it off. If you've got $1 million, $2 million, whatever mortgage, it's a long road. A long road. All right, but how can we do that? How can we continue to pay this mortgage down and eat away at it? And I touched on it in my previous video, and there's be a link in the description. Basically, is setting up our budget, structure of our finances, and allocating a certain amount for savings and investment. Well, that's great. So we've got a mortgage repayment, and we got a small amount for savings and investing, hopefully 10%, but we can't handle that. Something 5%, a couple $100, whatever, each and every month without fail. All right. So, good idea is to get a mortgage with a redraw facility or an offset account, and that money you put aside for savings and investments, sit that in the mortgage or offset the mortgage. In fact, every cent you've got should be offset. Every dollar you got should be working against that mortgage, because it will make a massive difference over time. All right, so we got that. So we're putting away our percentage for savings and investment, and we reach couple of $1,000. And the whole time you've been building it up, that's been working against the mortgage. Now is the time to get yourself some investments. Now I will do another video talking about different types of investments. Well, let's just talk about shares. I like shares for the average working person, because you can get in with $1,000. You don't need 800, $1 million to get an investment property. So you can get in with 1,000. Good idea is when you get that couple of thousand, I'll talk about how to pick the company in another video, but pick a good solid company that pays dividends and has a track record, say, of the last 20 years of paying dividends. And then Australian shares normally pay out every 6 months, and also a thing called franking credits is available. So if, say, we've got a husband and wife, the husband might be the main breadwinner, maybe not. Whoever is earning the least money, investment should go in that person's name for taxation reasons. So you actually, when you buy these shares, you actually become, this is an important point, you become a part owner of the company. All right, that company trades, hopefully makes a profit, and it pays tax to the government on that profit. Now, as you need to think here of yourself as a part owner of the company, not someone who's going to gamble, trade shares in it. You're buying something for the long term. So we got these shares. You have already paid tax from your company's earnings. So you'll get a thing called franking credits. And even if we've got one person in the relationship who hasn't got a job, well, probably got a job, maybe looking after the kids, very important, but hasn't got a sort of pay-as-you-go job. Now, say your companies have paid a couple of thousand tax, or a few hundred, depending how heavily you're invested, over the financial year. If that person who owns a company has earned less than a certain level of tax, they will get that, they'll get a tax refund. It's called the franking credits, like gold. All right, so you put them together, you get your dividends and your franking credits, a lot of money. It turns out to be a lot of money. Okay, so the strategy is money for savings investment sits in the mortgage, and then we move on and we'll buy investments that will pay dividends. Most likely it's going to be shares. Now that's great, so you can see that cycle. We're putting money away, it's working against the mortgage every single day, we reach a small amount, then we buy an income producing asset, and we just keep doing that basically for the rest of our lives if you want to be wealthy. You know, wealthy people just pick a thing, keep doing it. Have you heard the expression, the rich keep getting richer? Well, that's why, because they have a good structure, a good budget, and they just keep doing it because it's working. All right. So we're doing all that. Now, what will happen over time? Over time, of course, your mortgage will over time, inflation lead away at it, particularly if you've got a significant amount of cash sitting in there every day working against it, and the balance will drop, and the more interest payment, the less interest and more principal will come off each repayment. Now, over the other side, the companies you've invested in, you pick the good companies, hopefully, good, strong Australian companies, been around for a long time, reliable, they will grow in value. So you have a thing called capital growth. The value of money you put into the business, part of the business you purchased, will grow, and that is tax-free, because you don't pay, at this stage, you don't pay tax on capital growth until you sell them. All right, so the strategy is not to sell them, to avoid the tax. So hang on to them and let them do their job. They keep pumping out cash. So over time, you're putting small amounts into your investments, the mortgage is going out, and there'll come a point you'll start to notice after a few years that, hang on, my investments are growing pretty well and the mortgage is dropping, and we get closer and closer, and they'll reach a point where your investments equal or more than the mortgage, and then you can say, great, I can sell them to pay off the mortgage. Guarantee you when you get there you won't want to do that, because you'll have all these juicy passive income coming in and the mortgage is going down anyway. All right, so that's the strategy. Just reiterate what I've said, good structure, good budget, offset, use the heck out of the offset and the redraw facility in the mortgage. Every cent needs to go in there. Even make sure you pay your credit card off in full every month, but keep all the money for paying the credit off in your mortgage right till the day before things are due, so we move along like that. All right, very simple. Money sits in the mortgage, reaches a certain amount, buys an investment, that produces income, and we flow on and on. Okay, little tip there. There's probably other methods around, that's just one. I know that works, so thanks for your attention, guys. Good luck with everything, and keep your chin up. Things always pass and get better. Thank you.